It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Now, there's something about Kestrel Brewery that I was round the shop the other day and I seen this and I thought, I'm going to pick this up. Now, the reason why I pick it up, I live, let me give you a little bit of a story of the area of where I live. So, there's places like this all over the UK. There's probably places like this all over the world. I live near a train station. Used to be a big industrial area. And it's the type of place where you have your kind of mini markets, your corner shops, and you'll see, not everyone of course, absolutely not everyone, but you'll see a certain amount of the population going in for a Tennent's super or a Kestrel super, and they're always justifying to the people in the shop or the people behind the counter why they're buying this beer, or you know, I've had such a hard day or whatever, and they're walking away with 3 or 4 cans of Kestrel super. Some people you see them drinking it first thing in the morning type of thing. Tennent's super, Kestrel super, Skull super. So back in the 90s, it had quite a firm grip, Kestrel. It definitely had that kind of, like, I knew all about it, and I wasn't even drinking beer in the mid 90s. I was drinking beer in the late 90s, but you knew of Kestrel super. Everybody knew of Kestrel super. So when I seen this beer, I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to pick this up and give it a go. It's not Kestrel super. This is Kestrel Extra Premium Lager, born in Scotland. Now this is the interesting thing, because I love your comments in the comments box on this one. Clever marketing. 7% ABV, born in Scotland, but it says here, produced in the EU for Valletta, Malta. So I've got no idea. It must be brewed by somebody in the EU, must be brewed by somebody in Malta. But of course, the company came originally from Scotland, Kestrel, and it's Kestrel lagers. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get then. 500ml can. I think it cost me £1.50. It wasn't a lot of money. But Scotland has an interesting history with lager and lager brewing, which I'll touch on in a moment. There's a look at the beer. This might be, the Big Maltese Brewery might be brewing this. Can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. The Maltese lager, is it Sisk? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Sisk were producing this for the EU. Sisk, of course, is a Maltese brewery. 1 finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, golden, light coloured, clear looking lager. Let's get the aroma. Whoa, it's got that, it does say on the side of the can here, beer contains barley and sulfites, so little grimace as I get the aroma. I never said I liked Kestrel super, but I don't judge anybody that does, you know? None of my business. I'm one of those type of people in life, it's none of my business what people do. Little bit of grain, little bit of sweetness. Let's get in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh. That's like a sweet, that's like they've thrown a load of Haribos in this beer. with some astringent bitterness. It's slick, it's creamy, it's rich, it's sticky and sweet. It's, oh, I'm having another taste of it as it comes back. I'm just going to go around and grab a bottle off my shelf. Because there's not going to be much to talk about with the beer. I'd rather talk to you about Scotland's rich history in brewing beer, but it starts off with a brewery in England that were way before their time. Let me have one more taste of this before I go and get the bottle. Oh, that is like as far away from Germany and the Czech Republic as lager could ever be. Why is it that these, well, we all know why these beers exist. It's for the effect rather than the taste. If this was for the taste, I don't think many people would be buying it. This is get this down you as fast as you can. Oh, let me get this bottle. So, this is a dusty old bottle of Allsops. Allsops Limited with the trademark, the hand trademark. I've used this cork and cage from a bottle of Lidl Abbey de Voncleur, and I've done that because it would have had a cork and cage on it originally, and I just want to show off that this is how the bottle would have been originally. So Allsops Brewery then, they travelled to Germany, they seen what was going on in Germany, and they were the first lager producing, or one of the first lager producing companies, certainly on a mass scale. They bought a big lager plant and they extended their brewery to produce a lot of lager. But back then, this is like late 1800s. By then, most people were drinking ale and nobody really understood lager in the UK. So they were trying to sell a dream, they were trying to sell a product, but because they were first to market, nobody was interested in drinking lager. So unfortunately, it more or less bankrupted Allsops Brewery, which were a fantastic brewery back in the day. One of the biggest ale producing breweries in the UK. In fact, they've tried to relaunch as of about 2 or 3 years ago as an ale brewer again. So anyway, company in Scotland go to auction. They buy very cheaply in an auction the Allsops lager brewing kit. They took it to Scotland, and of course then they set up as what we know now today as Tennent's Brewery. Tennent's Brewery went from quite a small brewery to large scale brewer in a matter of minutes, matter of building this brewery in Scotland. Of course, when you see a company like Tennent's being very, very successful, it breeds other companies to try and do the same. That's why there's a rich history of lager brewing in Scotland, because everybody was trying to copy Tennent's. So you had breweries like Kestrel set up, and you had other, well, McEwan's, I'm sure McEwan's do a lager too. That's where you get big lager companies. Why you get big lager companies in Scotland is from the failure of an English brewery called Allsops Brewery. There wasn't really much to talk about with this Kestrel extra premium lager. I won't be finishing any more of this. I'll have one more taste. I mean, it looks great. It looks the part, doesn't it? But it's awful. This is like the most cheaply made lager I think I've ever tasted. It's just nasty. It's just got that kind of metallic sulfates, sweet, syrupy, cloyny, astringent bitterness. Awful, 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 awful. Kind of, you can taste that 7% alcohol. 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 for Kestrel Premium Lager. Awful stuff. I hope you liked the history lesson with Scottish breweries. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.